If one person believes something illogical, he is called a fool. But if 10 million people believe the same thing, it's called religion. Somebody could believe something illogical, and there could be a mass following of a belief which is illogical, but that doesn't work as a blanket argument against anything that is a religion. I lied, I do have an ego, I don't care what you think, I love the pressure, I love the money, I love to win, and she says, I'm God. If anything, this kind of acts as proof to you not being God, because you're stating to be the creator while you're a slave to the creations. What God is over all of this, and that's the whole point. The paragraph is a juxtaposition. In ancient Egypt, men believed women were goddess because they could create life, but now a man wouldn't hold a door open. If you specifically went out to not hold a door open, then that's of course bad. That is just a part of a general respect or courteousness, and it is because you can't have a general respect for anything and then exclude certain people from it. The issue is you're comparing it to people worshipping women as God. This is you putting this as the ideal. An issue with the sentiment is the women create life part. If you put a woman on an island by herself, there's not going to be life created. And if you put a man on an island by himself, there's also going to be no life created. What women have is they have been given the responsibility to bear the creation of life. And that is a good thing. Abortion ends lives. So does genocide, wars, school shootings, and lenient gun laws. You just want control over women's bodies. In your argument, you equate abortion to genocide and school shootings. But your position is that abortion should be allowed. If you want to make this argument, then you're basically allowing or advocating genocide and school shootings. Because then an argument for genocide can be made. Genocide ends lives. Well, so does abortion and wars. It's also illogical to say that just because somebody campaigns or is against abortion, that they're not also against genocide, wars, and school shootings. The reality of the situation is that all of it has to go. This comment here, it was never about wanting to keep the baby alive. It's just such a stretch to say all of the people who are against abortion have a desire to control women. And then we have pro-life people after the baby is born. Even if it's possible that a child being born could face some negative circumstances, you can't make an argument for somebody else coming into life or not based on how you think their life is going to be. You can't decide whether their life is worth living or not. Like the comment says, they only care about the fetus, but they don't care when people are already born. The care factor applies to everything. You should care about a child in poverty or a child in a bad situation, but you gotta care about somebody deciding to be the arbiter of an unborn person. And although both matter, the scale clearly weighs ending them as a more serious thing. I see that so many men say feminism is bad. Please tell me which of my rights I don't deserve as a woman. I'm very curious. Women deserve all the rights that apply to women. Modern feminism would be purporting that men and women are the same in a sense. Men shouldn't have the right to get pregnant, and they don't because they can't. And it's the base of highlighting that there is a difference of needs and therefore a difference of rights for men as opposed to women. The issues arise when you try and claim there's a sameness which just doesn't exist. The reality is, as a woman, you deserve all of the applicable rights. Like the comment here, as a man, I respect women's rights, and I think that they're equal to us, just like any other human. Men and women are not equal, but they are equitable. Women are not the same as men. It's not mutually exclusive to women also deserving respect and being human beings. I'll never understand people who have more empathy for an unborn fetus than the woman who was sexually assaulted and forced to keep a child she doesn't want. The way you're quantifying not having enough empathy for the woman is by not allowing her to exterminate the human life. This line of thinking or this argument is the same as suggesting that you have more empathy for a school bully than a weak and fragile kid because you don't support that kid going with a gun to shoot the school. In the scenario of an abortion, the fetus is not even the bully or the perpetrator. It doesn't have any moral weight in this situation, and yet it's the one that you're advocating should suffer the end. We have the comment, women's body, women's choice. The body you're making the deciding factor for is not your body, which you would agree on So therefore, using your logic, it's not the woman's choice because it isn't the woman's body. And you get this comment, the fetus doesn't even breathe, bro. Literally, it doesn't even know it exists. People make the argument based on the limited ability of a human in a vulnerable state allows for the murder of it, which in other circumstances except abortion, that line of thinking would ring as very problematic for people. But here it's accepted to try and make this argument. It's always protect your daughter, never educate your son. Always, what was she wearing? No, what was he thinking? A general issue in modern societies is the parents don't educate their children on morals or instill morals. The idea that it is always what was she wearing isn't really true. The perpetrator of a sexual assault case on a woman is almost certainly always vilified. It just isn't the case that they get a free pass. The ideal isn't that it's protect your daughter, not educate your son, or educate your son and not worry about protecting your daughter. The ideal is that it's both. Women should dress modestly, and of course men should not act out. If you really want to make the kind of judgment about society that you're making, you would be more that it's sort of going in the opposite direction of the what was she wearing narrative. Our mothers are the last generation who patiently accepted a man at the cost of their own freedom, happiness, and life. This will end with them. A partner is not a burden that is placed upon you. You're making a generalization about men, specifically what it's like to have a male partner, based on things that are not representative of what a relationship is. There's no dichotomy for women of being in a painful relationship or being free as a complete feminist. All of that is falling short or dismissing the lack of what an actual relationship is. That's the bigger issue.